Welcome to the Yellow Belt Training Class 7. Let's begin. Escape. Breathe. Yo. Let's pray. God, today, thank you so much for the beauty of your creation. Lord, and thank you for this amazing opportunity that we have again today to train in Christian karate. Lord, I pray that you would be glorified. Give us strength and endurance and safety. In Jesus' name, amen. Let's review our character quality. Endurance versus giving up. The inward strength to withstand stress to accomplish God's best. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow. For when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, needing nothing. James 1:3-4. Let's warm up. Jumping jacks, begin. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, hey, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, hey, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, hey, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, hey, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, up down, ich, ni, san, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, side to side, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, forward and back, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, arm rotations forward, small, ni, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, reverse, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, big ones forward, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, reverse, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, over and under, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju. Now may swing backs, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, twist the ball of your foot, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, stretch to your side, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, twist punch, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, torso rotations, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, gu, ju, other direction, ich, ni, Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew to the side. High block. Reverse punch. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Other direction. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Legs apart. Stretch up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Down. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. To the side. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Other direction. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Ankle rotations. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Other direction. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Hip rotations. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Other direction. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Side to side. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Front kick stretch. Low level. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Mid-level. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Switch. Low level. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Mid-level. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Side. Low level. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Mid-level. Ich. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Other side. Low level. Ich. Knee. son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju, mid-level, ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju. Knee rotations, ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju, other direction on, ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju, in and out, ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju, calf stretch, ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju, mountain climbers, ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju, ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju, ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju, and yummy. Squat kicks. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju. Push-ups. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju. Front snap kick. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju. Hey, switch. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju. Hey, roundhouse kick, lead leg. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju. Hey, switch. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, siege, hutch, gu, ju. Hey. Balance drill. Right leg up. Ich, ni, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, to the side, ich, me, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, to back, ich, me, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, to roundhouse forward, ich, me, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, to, and relax. Other leg up, ich, me, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, to the side, ich, me, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, to back, ich, me, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, to roundhouse forward, ich, me, son, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, to, and relax. Now we're going to learn the outside-inside block. This is a strong block that primarily defends in the mid-level section. Watch as I do this. I'll start with one arm out. Here is the outside-inside block. Watch the side view. Let's go ahead and learn this block together. Start by putting your hands in your chamber. Take your right arm and for now, just put it in front of your body. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to take the arm that's in the chamber and bring it up to your side of your head. Now we want to put the palm facing away from us. So if my thumb was, it would be pointing down here, upside down. This arm that is out is going to be extended to where it is similar to a punch. So this arm comes up, this arm comes out. This is the halfway point for this block. From here, this arm that is out is going to come back and twist into the chamber. This is our blocking arm. So go ahead and pull this back and twist out of the way so we can concentrate on the blocking arm. From here, we're going to be bringing this arm across our body, keeping our palm facing away from us until the moment of impact. Now, once we make impact with our target, at that point, we will twist and complete the block. We don't want to twist too early. We'll lose that twist power that comes when we twist, when we make contact. Also, it could be cause more injury if you just go straight without twisting. So keep this arm away from your body until that moment of impact, and then twist. Now, this should be about shoulder width here, the height, and your elbow should be approximately one fist or one hand away from your body. We also want to make sure that when we block, that we block far enough over to where whatever we're blocking goes past our body. We don't want to block here because then it wouldn't be far enough. So make sure that we go just far enough to block. We also want to make sure that we don't go too far. If we go too far, then we leave ourselves open for attacks over here. So ideally, just far enough to make the block effective. Let's do the other arm. We'll do this in a 2 count, really to break it down to help you understand. So this arm is going to go out, and this arm is going to go up. From here, pull that arm back, and concentrate on this arm sweeping across, making contact, twist. This arm goes out, up. Bring this back and across and twist. Let's do this now in one motion. This arm will go out while this arm goes up. Now bring it back and across, twisting both of them at the same time. Up and out. Bringing it back. Now twisting at the same time. Finishing. Up. Out. Twist. Up. Out. Twist. Let's continue while you watch the side view. Up. Out. Pull back. And twist. Twist. Each knee. 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 Now we're going to speed it up just a little bit. Each knee. 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 Now let's go ahead and try it. One count, nice and smooth all the way, start to finish. Each knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Goo. Jew. Let's continue. Watch the side view. Remember, keep your shoulders down, body relaxed. Only tighten the moment of impact. Each knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hatch. Goo. Jew. Hey. And yame. Now, let's talk about where you're actually blocking on your arm. This block is designed to be about wrist level down to just above the elbow level. This is the area that you'll be blocking. Now, we are practicing a mid-level outside-inside block, but this block can also be done at multiple levels, so it can be a high or a low depending on the application that you need. And also depending on where you're hitting will determine what section. Ideally, you want to aim for about this section here. We have more muscle here, more padding, and so when we make contact, if you make contact here and twist, it will be less likely to cause injury on yourself than if you hit up here in this area. This area right here is usually very sensitive and has less muscle density than down low. So if you ever hit here, it can cause more injury if it's not done correctly. So shoot for about here and down when making contact with that outside inside block. Let's go ahead and practice it a few more times, and let's go a little bit faster if you feel comfortable. Now, if you're still struggling with trying to make this happen, go ahead and pause, go back, and go through the slow section several times. If you feel comfortable, let's try it a little bit faster. Go ahead and start with your right arm out. Here we go, medium speed. Ich, ni, son, shi, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju, hey. Continue. Ich, ni, son, shi, go, rook, sich, hutch, gu, ju, hey. We're now going to learn the hammer fist strike. Now, the hammer fist strike has a lot of different variations. We can do an outside-inside hammer fist strike, downward hammer fist strike, side hammer fist strike. The whole idea is what you are actually using for your body to strike with, and that's called the hammer fist. So the hammer fist is where you make a normal fist, and we're going to strike either down or to the side or upwards with this section of our hand. Okay, that's the hammer fist section. Now again, we just talked about the outside-inside block where we use this section here. With the hammer fist strike, we want to use this section here, primarily the padded part of our hand, and also we want to avoid hitting this section as well. As though we also avoided it on the outside-inside block, we want to avoid that section, so we want to make sure we hit with this top portion. Now to begin with, we're going to go ahead and learn the downward hammer fist strike, and this has a lot of similarities to the outside-inside block that we just did. Go ahead and watch as I do the downward hammer fist strike. I'll start by bringing one hand out here. Watch the side view. So you notice right away that there's a lot of similarities that we do for the outside-inside block. From here, I'll bring my hand up as though I'm doing an outside-inside block. So from here, I could do an outside-inside block or a downward hammer fist strike. This arm does extend as well here. And then from here, this hand is going to be striking downward instead of sweeping out like the last block. I'm going to be coming down and striking downward, ending about right here when we practice. Now, by now you probably know that we practice things in certain locations to try to create some habits, but that's not always how it is when we go against a bag or in real life. I practice here, but I might need to go here, or here, or here, or here, depending on the situation. So just realize that a lot of these basics that we're learning is just developing muscle memory, and we will move them around as needed later on. So we're going to end approximately right here, hitting with our hammer fist. Now, the places that we're aiming for, anywhere on the body that is open, the head, the nose, collarbone, etc. Those are all sensitive areas, and the hammer fist strike is actually a very strong strike. When we move over to bag work later on, you'll find that this is a very strong strike that we can do. Let's go ahead and work and learn this technique. Start by putting your right arm just out in front again. Let's bring our arm that's in the chamber up And then this arm is just going to go straight back into the chamber. And this arm will come down and strike. This arm up. Extend this arm. Down. And there is a slight twist here, as you can see, slight twist. And then a twist into the chamber here. So as we're coming down, slight twist. Up and down. Twist. Up, down, twist. Up, down, twist. Up, down, twist. And good. Relax for a second. Shake it out. Now, one thing that you've probably noticed right away, hopefully, is that there's not a lot of twist in this technique. And initially, it might feel that it's not as strong, say, as a technique that has a lot of twist to it. And that is true. There is less potential as far as the twisting goes, less power. And that is where we would need to incorporate the other elements that we've talked about. We've talked about the hip vibration a little bit. Also, when we're in a stance here, we will incorporate the hip movement. Another important part that we need to do is gripping the floor. At that moment of impact, everything will need to be tight. We'll need to grip the floor. Our body will need to be tight. Breathing out at that moment of impact. So that's what we will do when we get and we're practicing at full speed and full power. But initially, when we're going slow, it may feel like there's not a lot of power here. Just realize that when we do practice it fast, that we will incorporate those techniques to make it feel stronger. Let's go through this now. 1 count. Let's do it smoothly. Don't worry about all of those aspects as far as gripping the floor or tightening at this point. Let's just work on the motion to make sure that we have the motion down. Nice and slow. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Hey. Let's continue on. Watch the side view as you do. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Hey. Yame. Relax for a moment. Remember to keep your body relaxed as you do these techniques until the last moment. Let's go ahead and try medium speed. And now, if you feel comfortable with this, let's add a few of those elements as far as maybe a slight hip vibration, gripping the floor, tension of the arm, the body, the legs at that moment of impact. Let's go ahead and do this. Start with your right arm. Medium speed. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Gu. Ju. Hey. Let's continue on. Ich. Ni. Son. Ji. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Girl. Jukia. Hey. And Yame. Now we're going to go over combination number 9. This is a low block hammer fist strike stepping punch. Now before we get into it, as far as practicing it, I want to go over the details of what your arm does when you twist your arm and pull back. So the application to this is we're going to be doing a low block to somebody punching us low. They're going to grab our arm and we're going to pull it back and get out of that arm grab and then hammer fist strike. Now here's how the combination will look. We'll do the low block, we'll twist our arm, pull our arm back and our stance halfway back. From here, bring it up top and hammer fist strike down, and then step forward and punch. Now, some important points of this is after I do the low block, I want to twist my wrist. Now, the reason that we twist that wrist is if somebody grabs hold of our wrist, we want to twist our wrist to where the small part of our arm is in between their thumb and finger. This way, we can pull out easier. If our wrist is this direction, then it's harder for us to pull out. So we want to make sure that when we do that low block, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to twist as we pull back quickly. Pull back. Twist, pull back. And then downward hammer fist strike with a stepping punch. Let me show you how it will look on one side. So we do the low block, twist, pull back, finish the hammer fist strike, and then step forward punch. So as you practice this next section of the 5 principles, remember the twist and the pull back. Let's work on combination number 9. This is the low block, downward hammer fist strike, stepping punch. Let's go through this slowly, 1 count per move. Ich. Knee. San. 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 Hey! And Yame. Let's do that again. Ich. Knee. San. 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 Hey! Hey. Let's go through this 1 count per side. Ich. Knee. San. She. Go. Hey. Hey. Again. Each. Knee. Son. She. Go. Hey. And yummy. Let's go through combination number 10. This is the inside-outside block, reverse punch. Now, as we do this inside-outside block, remember, when we end our first motion, we want to make sure that our hips are at the open position at a 45, so that we have some hip rotation for that inside, for that reverse punch. So make sure that when we step here, our hips will start off forward. We are only going to go from here to here. We don't want to go here to here, because now we don't have anything for that reverse punch. So as we step, hips are straight forward. They're going to end at that 45-degree angle so that we can do that reverse punch. This would be the same as the low block. When we would turn here, hips were at a 45 so that we could do the reverse punch. Same thing here. Turn. Make sure those hips are open for that reverse punch. Let's step through this. Inside outside block, reverse punch. 1 count per move, nice and slow. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. Hey! Yummy. Let's do that again. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. Hey! And yummy. Let's go ahead and practice 1 count per side. Nice and slow. Each. Knee. Son. She. Go. Hey! Okay. Let's do this again. Now remember, as we go through these slow, be thinking about all of the dynamics that make your stance good, your upper body good, hip placement, gripping the floor. As we do these slow, the purpose is so we can work on those things. One more time, slow. Each. Knee. Son. She. Go. Hey! And yummy. Let's step through combination number 11. Inside outside block, stepping punch. 1 count per move, slowly. Each. Knee. Each. knee, ich, knee, ich, knee, ich, knee, hey! And yame. Let's do that again, slowly. Ich, knee, ich, knee, ich, knee, ich, knee, ich, knee, hey! And yame. Let's go through this, one count per side. Ich, knee, son, she, go, hey! One more time. Ich, knee, son, she, go, hey! And yame. Let's go through combination number 12. Combination 12 is building on the last several combinations that we've had. Now we're going to do the inside-outside block, front snap kick, stepping punch. One thing I'd like to point out at this point in your training, as we're practicing these 5 principles, is to make sure that you complete every technique before moving on to the next one. At this point, we want to make sure that we finish the block completely. We finish the stance, everything is completed before we move on to the next stance or for the next technique. For instance, when I'm here, I want to make sure I'm done before moving on. The common tendency in the beginning is to not necessarily finish the technique and kind of have it all work together. Later on, we're going to work on shrinking that space in between each technique. But in the beginning, it's important to make sure that you finish each one. You grip the floor, good contraction, expansion, good tightening of the body, breathing out at the end of every technique before moving on. Let's go ahead and step through this combination. 1 count per move, slowly. Ich, knee, son. 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 Hey! And yame. Let's do that again. Ich, knee, son. 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 Hey! Amen. Let's do this combination. 1 count per side. Remember to finish each technique before moving on to the next. Ich, knee, son, she, go, Yame. One more time. Ich. Ni. Son. She. Go. Hey. And Yame. We're now going to learn the back stance. The back stance is our first stance that's really a defensive stance. As we've seen in the front stance, there are very specific strengths that we have. We talked about the strengths of attacking forward and being able to take this back leg and move forward in different directions. Now, the back stance is a defensive stance that is designed to be able to quickly utilize this front leg as a defense if needed. Where if I'm here in a back stance position, more of my weight is on my back leg, so that if I'm getting overpowered, I can use this front leg as a defense. A back stance strengths also can be off to the side. We'll look into the strengths and weaknesses a lot later on in a different video to see the strengths and weaknesses. But this stance overall is considered a defensive stance. Let me show you the dynamics and how the back stance is put together. Usually, whenever we learn a new stance, we will reference our front stance. We've learned the front stance, we kind of know where it works, so we'll reference the front stance to learn where the new stance comes from. So we'll go ahead and get into a front stance. What's going to happen is this back leg is going to turn to the side. The front leg we're going to bring over onto one line. So our heels are in one line. The back foot is pointed 90 degrees one direction. The front foot is pointing straight forward. Now at this point, what we want to do is we want to bend most of our weight, about 70% of our weight, on our back knee. We're going to have our front knee slightly bent, but our back knee is where most of the weight will go. We want to make sure that our knee is over our toe. We don't want to collapse the knee here or push it out too far. It should be just over the toe. Knee should be pointing straight forward. Hips relaxed. Now, you'll notice real quick that we have less hip motion here. Okay, we have a little bit of hip motion, but because of the dynamics of where it's positioned, we don't have as much hip motion as other stances. So we are limited on our hip motion slightly on this stance. Go ahead and get into the stance, get into one line, bend that back knee, make sure the front knee is pointing forward, and we'll have our hands on our hips and just hold this for a few moments so you can see where the tension and the muscles are required for this stance. And you're going to find that most of it is here on this back leg. Let's go ahead and switch. Take this leg and turn it. This leg just goes the other direction. Hands on your hips, making sure your knee is in the right spot, making sure you're not leaning forward and back. So if you look straight forward, see how my body is up and down. We don't want to do this or this. What you might find in the beginning, just like maybe the front stance, is if you haven't developed your leg muscle yet, it'll start to hurt and you'll be like trying to ease the pain by causing bad technique. And I would encourage you not to do that. When you train a new stance, if you're in the position and it's starting to hurt and you can't maintain the stance properly anymore, then just stop the stance. It would be better for you to stop, shake out your legs a little bit, and then do it again, always maintaining the proper stance. That's what's going to be best in the long run. If you get to where it hurts and you do this a little bit, thinking, I'm just going to stand in my stance a little bit longer, well, this right here is counterproductive. It's causing bad habits. So if that leg ever gets to where you just need to take a break real quick, shake it out, switch to the other one. Let's go ahead and practice this stance. We're going to move forward and back on this stance. Go ahead and put your right leg back, left leg forward in one line, bending back to where most of the weight is on that back leg. Now when we step forward, we want to bring this foot straight through, and we're also going to change the position of our hips. So watch how I do this. I'm going to step to here, the middle position, the zero position, and from here, what I want to do is thrust my hips outward, which will cause that leg to shoot forward. Now when I get to the ending position, I want to grip the floor to stop my technique. So as I come forward here, then my hips are going to thrust and end in this position with my hips to the side, my feet forward. Going back will be similar. I go here, and then I'm going to go back, keeping my hips forward until the last moment, and hips back. Now the timing will be different when we do it full speed. Ideally, you want everything to end at the same time. So the hips will go first, a larger muscle group, and then the foot will catch up and end at the same time. Let's go ahead and do this together. Each nice and slow, and twist. And back. Knee. And back. Song. And back. She. Back. Go. And back. Rook. Back. Siege. Back. Hutch. Back. Go. Back. Do. And back. Yummy. Shake out your legs a little bit, and let's do the other side. I'll go and do the side view so you can watch. And back. Knee. And back. Son. Back. She. Back. Go. And back. Rook. Back. Siege. Back. Hutch. Back. Go. Back. Ooh. And back. And yummy. Let's work on learning the knife hand block. Now the knife hand block is a block that's designed to use this section of your hand to block, the knife hand section, the spot just below the pinky all the way down to just above the wrist, this section right here. We also want to make sure that when we're blocking that we're using this kind of the inside section here and not the outside section where we have bones here, but we want to use this section here where we have the muscles. So this will be our knife hand block section. To make the knife hand block, what we're going to do is hold our hands tight and tuck the thumbs away. Okay, we want this tension to be tight so that this whole portion of your hand is firm. We don't want it to be relaxed and loose. make sure that it is tight and pulled back. Now the thumb, we want to just tuck the thumb away as much as possible. So this is just a nice smooth section here. We don't want the thumb to be out or in the way when we make this knife hand block. We want it to just be tucked away. Now, the knife hand block will end up looking like this. This hand will be the blocking hand. It will come from this side, the opposite side of your head, and block outward. So there'll be a slight twist so that we can block with the correct part of our hand. The withdrawn hand is going to be right here at the solar plex area, blocking. So here's how it will look in the standing position. Okay, let's go ahead and learn this together. Go ahead and make your knife hand blocks. Let's put one hand at the solar plex, just resting there. Let's put this other hand out in front. Now from here, what's going to happen is this hand that's out in front is going to come forward and point palm down. This hand that was down will come up across the face here and protecting the face. Palm towards the face, about a few inches away from your ear. This is the halfway point. From here, this arm is going to withdraw and twist to the solar plex. Similar to when we twist in the punch, it will twist to the solar plex. So bring this arm back and twist. Now this arm will come out. And again, similar to all the other blocks, once we make contact here, we're going to twist outward. Twist. Okay, let's do the other arm. Bring this arm out. This one up. Bring this back and twist. This arm goes out and twist. Do that again. Arm out. Up, back and twist, out, twist. Let's try this the same time, both hands, slowly. Up and out, back, and out and twist. Up and out. Back and twist. Up and out. Twist. Up and out. Twist. Up. Twist. Up. Twist. Up. And twist. Let's go a little faster now. Each. Knee. Son. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Go. Ju. And you may relax. Now when we practice our knife hand block when we stand, we want to make sure that when we block, we go far enough off to the side to where our opponent misses us. Similar to the other blocks that we do, we want to block just far enough to where the block is effective. If we go too far, that leaves us exposed. We don't go far enough and we'll get hit. So make sure that when you block, you go just far enough to make the block effective. Now in the beginning, you might not know exactly where that is. You might be thinking, well, where is that effectiveness? And what you'll find as you go into the 5-step sparring or the 3-step sparring, and we start doing this with partners, is you'll find where that spot is. For now, what I want you to do is just go just where you feel it goes outside of your body. Don't overextend, and don't go too far in, just outside of your body when we practice these techniques. And then when you do your 5-step sparring, really concentrate on that one concept of how far do I need to go to still make it effective. Let's go ahead and practice the knife hand block together. Start by making your knife hand. Let's have one arm out and one arm back. Here we go, nice and slow. Each. And when we're standing, one thing that you're going to have to do is turn your body slightly. So you'll see as I turn that goes out where I need to, and I can still get that rotation that I need to with my arms and my hips. If I just stand here, I don't have any of the rotation, and it's difficult to get the block correct as far as the positioning. So make sure you turn your upper body just slightly. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hach. Gu. Ju. Kia. Hey. Continue. Watch the side view. Ich. Knee. Son. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hach. Gu. Ju. Kia. Hey. And Yame. Relax a little bit. This is a great technique to introduce a concept that we will be working on in the future in great depth. But I wanted to present it now just to give you an idea and have you start thinking about it. That's the idea of contraction and expansion. Each one of our muscle groups will contract when we move it, and the opposite muscle group will expand. Now, usually on the expansion part, it's just we need to relax that muscle so that it can expand. And every motion that you do has a group of muscles that work with each other. So if I was to lift this arm here, this muscle here is contracting while this muscle back here is expanding, letting it happen. And then the same is true when I push out, this muscle will be contracting and this muscle will be expanding. Now in your body, we have an entire group of muscles that will contract and expand. When I do this technique here, or low block, a lot of the techniques that we do, here I'm going to be contracting certain muscle groups to make this motion happen. I'm also going to be expanding other muscle groups. For instance, here I will be contracting all of these inside muscles, and I'll be expanding, letting my back relax and release to here. So I have contraction and expansion here. Now when I move this technique, now I'm going to be engaging the opposite groups of muscles. I'm going to be contracting certain muscle groups here and allowing other ones to expand. Now in the beginning, we say, make sure you're relaxed. And that relaxing point is mainly for those expansion muscles. If you're tense and tight the entire time, and I'm tight and tense, I'm contracting everything. And what I want to do is I want to let half of my muscle groups relax. And I only want to use the muscle groups to contract that I need to move. Now what I need to do is I need to let those other muscle groups relax and only use the muscles that are required to make this happen here. That's the idea of contraction and expansion. It's simply put as this: only use the muscle groups that you need to make the technique happen well. Let the other ones relax. By letting them relax, you're going to be able to move faster. And then the same is true when you have to switch to the other group, and only use the muscles that you need to make the technique happen. If you do this over the course of time, you're going to find that your techniques will be stronger and they'll get faster and faster. Let's do this one more time, thinking about the idea of, am I relaxing the muscle groups that I need to make this technique efficient? Go ahead and start by putting your hands out here. I'm going to go ahead and do a 2 count, and I want you to think about which muscles am I using to make this technique happen. Each. Go ahead and tighten them for a second, kind of see which ones we're using. Knee. Now, tighten the muscles that were needed for that motion, which is a lot of the back muscles. Each. Tighten. Knee. Get a feel for what are we doing? Which muscles do we need for this technique? Each. Knee. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. Each. Knee. And yame. So think about those muscle groups in your technique. Not only this technique, but every single technique that we do has a group of muscles that are contracting and a group of muscles that are expanding on every motion that we do. And then usually, there are some exceptions, but usually the one that's contracting will switch and expand, and the one that's expanding will switch and contract. So be thinking about those things as you do your techniques, which muscles are needed, and really concentrate on developing that concept of the contraction expansion. And again, we will be covering this in more detail at a later rank. Let's practice Taikyoku Shodan now at a medium speed. I'll go ahead and count through it, 1 count per move, and then afterwards go through it as many times as you need at this medium speed until you feel comfortable, and then we'll move on later to full speed and full power. Here we go. Taikyoku Shodan. Kyosuke. Ready. Go. Taikyoku Shodan. Endurance. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Ruk. Sich. Hach. Hen. Gu. Ju. Ich. Ni. Son. Shi. Go. Ruk. Hey. Sich. Hach. Gu. Ju. Okay. Kyosuke. Right. Yo. This concludes class 7 for the yellow belt. Good job getting this far. Now is the time for a personal cool down. Take some time and do some stretches after the end of this video. Kyosuke. Right. Yo.